Well, I made a 20-minute long video and decided that's too long, I'm going to remake it, so lucky you. And once again, I am not a licensed physician at the time of making this video. I might be at the time you watch it, but regardless, this is not medical advice, it's purely educational and informational. And if my speaking slips up, it's because I was talking for 30 minutes already. Okay, so there are I was requested to make this video on, like, if it's dangerous to take a lot of supplements, like what it does for your health and body. There are three main categories, and you might be surprised that I consider them all supplements. So category number one, vitamins, and I got my vitamins and minerals and stuff over here. Vitamins, minerals, coenzymes, cofactors, all the stuff that is meant to be in our body, that our body needs to function. For the most part. Now, there are exceptions. And of course, you could be an idiot and decide to chug a whole gallon of soy sauce and overdose on the mineral sodium, for example. Doesn't mean sodium is toxic. It's like, water is toxic too if you drink 5 gallons of it. But water is the number one most important thing for human life. So it would be moronic to say that it's dangerous because you can overdose on it. Water, not dangerous. Sodium, not dangerous. Magnesium, vitamin C, creatine, not dangerous. Now, there are some vitamins, certain fat-soluble vitamins, which you can overdose on. So look up what the overdose limit is and make sure you stay below it. Some vitamins are also mutagenic in large doses, like vitamin A, retinoic acid. It's also a transcription factor, meaning that it not only has vitamin function, but a transcription factor modulates the activity of your DNA. If you were to have this modified when you were developing as a baby, you could be missing a limb, grow an extra limb or something. As an adult, you might get cancer. Not good to megadose vitamin A, plus it has other toxicity. But for the most part, the vitamins, minerals, cofactors, coenzymes, etc. are completely safe because they are meant to be with our body. But I say that in a certain dosage range. Just like water, completely safe as long as you stay within the safe range. Second category, plant extracts. Not completely safe, and let's go over why. Even if they are standardized to have that one molecule that is desired in a certain amount, they have so many other molecules in the plant. They're at random dosages. And also, just because it says that that one molecule is standardized to a certain amount, doesn't mean it is. But for sure, all the other stuff is random amounts. And you can get different chemicals in each batch. On top of that, many, if not most, of the molecules in plants, I may call them chemicals sometimes. I mean the same thing, chemical, molecule, drug, all the same thing. But many or most of them that are in plants have never even been studied on the human body. So some of them aren't even known. So you're taking potentially unknown, likely unstudied drugs in random dosages and expecting to not have a bad outcome. That's not how I like to do things. I like to have one drug at a specific dose, which has also been well studied on the human body for a lot of time. I don't like to take drugs if they've only been around 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I prefer to take drugs that have been around for 30 plus years. The longer the better. And you're not doing that with, plants have been around a long time, but they have not been well studied. Like I said, you get a big old mixture of drugs, some of which are unknown, most of which are unstudied, and all of which are at random dosages. Not a good idea. Be very careful, monitor your health closely if you take plant extracts. Now, there is a better version of plant extracts, which is the third category, which is pharmaceutical drugs. You may be thinking, but that's not a supplement, that's a drug. It's just as much a supplement as the plant. The only difference is it is regulated It's one molecule versus a whole mixture, and it's at an exact dosage, and it's been studied for a long time with the human body. And generally, pharmaceuticals have been made to have less side effects and more beneficial, desired effects. But even if you can get the same drug from a plant or from a pharmaceutical, it's better to get it from the pharmaceutical, because from the plant we get all that other stuff in random amounts with who knows what effects. Better to go with the pharmaceutical. So those are the three categories. Now with the pharmaceuticals and the plants, you do have another thing to keep in mind. Specific drug toxicity, so you should research that drug and see if there is specific drug toxicity. But there's also polypharmacy. If you are taking several, you can take one plant extract and have polypharmacy, because I said there's so many things in it. But if you take one plant extract or several pharmaceuticals, you run into the issue of polypharmacy. What that issue is that each drug you take modifies the workings of the human body. So we may know what a certain drug does to the human body, but when you take another drug, it modifies how your body interacts with that second drug. And that second drug modifies how your body interacts with that first drug. You add a third drug in the mix, now they're all changing how your body interacts with them. And maybe 2 drugs have been studied together, maybe even 3 have been studied together. But are your 2 that you're taking studied together? Probably not. So you take multiple drugs, or a single plant extract that has multiple drugs, and you don't know how an individual drug is going to react with you anymore. One drug might have been studied for 30 years, but you add another drug in the mix, and now your body reacts completely different to it, and those 30 years of studies are kind of just thrown out the window because you don't know how your body's going to respond to it now. Certain drugs, a lot of drugs also give some sort of liver strain. So the more drugs you take, the more strain on your liver, generally. And my throat is very tired from speaking, and I think this is a good length to make it. I think you got the core concepts. 3 categories: the vitamins, minerals, cofactors, coenzymes, etc. Extremely safe. Plant extracts, I wouldn't take them unless you don't have another option. That's just me. Not safe, very unpredictable, very unknown. Pharmaceuticals, it depends on the pharmaceutical, of course, but they have the potential to be very safe because they are very known. When you know how something works, you have the ability to use it safely. When you don't know how something works, you do not have the ability to use it safely. Hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Check out my other videos that can probably help you also. And have a good day.